YouTube friends, it's Geezer and Molly. We're headed out for another little camping trip to one of Scott County, Iowa's county parks. This one's called West Lake Park. It's a little northwest of Buffalo Shores where we stayed the last time, and we thought we'd give it a try. I've never camped there, ever. I don't know as though I've even seen the campground. I've been to West Lake Park years and years and years ago when my son was little. We used to come out here to go fishing once in a while. But we're on our way westbound on Interstate 280. We just crossed the Mississippi River, so we should be there soon. We'll see you there. Okay, we've arrived here at the campground. You can see Classy sitting back there. And we found a spot, finally. I wanted to set up on that site or that one, but they're so unlevel, I couldn't deal with it, so I chose this spot over here. And it's not bad. Here, let me give you a little look around. And as you can see, the sites here are gravel, and they're not very level. Even this spot here, I had to mess around for quite a while to get decent. But you do get a concrete patio with a picnic table, and I'll zoom you back there. There is a fire pit back there, and just like Buffalo Shores, you don't get water on the site, but there's little community spigots here and there. There's one right there. It's a nice quiet park so far. We'll see how it goes. I gotta get some things set up here and get ready to make some dinner. So I'll catch you in a minute. I was at Walmart the other day, picked this up. It's the Expert Grill. Tabletop gas grill, and it looked like it'd be pretty handy. We've hauled charcoal around with us for the last couple of years, and it's just a real pain, and I thought this would be a lot handier. But as you might suspect, there is some assembly required. That's right. Somehow they managed to put all this in that little box. But there are instructions, and after I get done messing up trying to put it together 2 or 3 times, I'll probably read them. Okay, after about a half an hour and a half a dozen swear words, there it is. Kind of neat. I have to say the instructions were terrible, but I got it figured out. Not a bad looking little grill. Runs off of these little 1-pound propane cylinders. Well, surprise of surprises, the little grill doesn't work. I messed with it till it got dark out, and just had to resign to the idea of using the stove. But we'll get some dinner anyway. Right, Molly? Look at her over there waiting so patiently. That smelling good to you? Huh? Does that smell good? You want dinner? You want some burger for dinner? Yeah, me too. Okay, there we go. A little bit for Dad.
Hey, this is life, man.
A little bit for Molly.
No women around?
Yeah, I said a little bit for Molly. You ready for dinner? Molly, are you ready for dinner? Okay, honey, I'll quit teasing you. Well, we're coming up towards the end of the second day here at Westlake, and there really isn't a lot to see and a lot to do around here. We spent a lot of the day just sitting here in the shade, Molly and myself, and just enjoying the peace and quiet. And this place is peaceful and quiet. There's not much of anything going on. But Earl stopped by to take another shot at that generator, and he got it tore apart, took some emery cloth and cleaned up the float, needle, and the seat. He managed to get the seat out of there, even though we were told it wasn't replaceable, and found that to be pretty gunked up. So he spent quite a little bit of time cleaning that up, and got everything all spiffy, put it back together, and he couldn't get that needle to stick anymore. He tried everything he could think of to get it to stick, and it just worked just slick as it could be. So, you know, we thought we had it beat. But got everything put back together, started it up, started right up, ran great, but there was a little leak around the float bowl. So we shut it off, and he grabbed a wrench and went to tighten that little combination fitting mounting bolt type thing in the bottom of the float bowl. Turned it about a quarter of a turn, and you guessed it, it snapped off right in the carburetor housing. So we determined that the O-rings probably wore out, and we jumped in his car, went over to the local owning dealership here, and you can't get an O-ring for that carburetor. They don't make them. And the fitting was $80 for a new one, and they'd have to order it. So we thought that was a little steep. So bottom line is, I believe that he fixed the problem, which was a sticking float needle, but created another problem. And we're on the lookout now for, first choice would be a used carburetor. Just buy the whole thing so that we got some extra parts, but short of that, see if we can at least get that fitting that broke off. And we'll have to pull the carburetor off and try to get that broken piece out. He seems to think he can do it, and if he thinks he can do it, I'm pretty sure he can. So that's the update on the carburetor. For now, it's just sitting. I guess my word to the wise would be, if you've got a newer, yeah, that's right, I said newer, owning generator, take real good care of it. Because what we found out is the newer ones, and Classy's 91 is considered a newer one, there's not much for parts for the carburetors. They just built them to be a remove and replace part, and there's just very little in the way of parts available for them. So take care of your generator if you've got anything newer than a 91 at least, and I don't know how far back that newer label goes, but I just think it's silly, but that's what they've done. As you saw, I did dinner on the stove last night, and I may have to do the same thing tonight. I made breakfast on the stove too, which is all right. I mean, we got the stove, it works, but I'd sure like to get that little grill working, so I'm going to get off here and play with that grill a little bit, see if I can get it going. So I guess I'll catch you later. That's about all I got for now. Good afternoon, YouTube. Geezer and Molly here. It's time to go home. We've gotten all we're going to get out of this one. I have to say it was a very relaxing couple of days here. Not much of anything to do but relax. This is one of those parks that a lot of people would like. It's just stone dead quiet. It's rare to see anybody out. I see somebody out sweeping off their patio, but I believe they just got here. So they're just setting up. But there's not much sign of life at all around here, which isn't all bad. I mean, like I said, it was a very relaxing couple of days. I enjoyed it. It's not the kind of place I'd normally pick, but all around not bad. The one thing that I found to be quite disappointing is there is no way to get to the lake from here, you know, from right here, without driving around or taking about a 3/4 of a mile hike down a little path. So unfortunately we didn't get down to the lake at all, but we're going to take a drive around there and have a look at it anyway. It just seems silly to stay at a place called West Lake and not see the lake. This park does have 2 campgrounds. This is Terrace Park. Had to think about it for a minute. Terrace Park, and we'll go past the other one. It's called Summit, and neither one of them have any access to the lake, so it is what it is. This park has 4 lakes. This is one of the 2 accesses that there is. This one's called Railroad Lake. This must be one of the smaller lakes. It's really not very big. This is the entrance of what they call Gate 1. And this should take us down to the lake. We'll see what we get here. It'll take us past the Summit campground anyway. We can get a look at that. Oh, there it is right there. Take a buzz through it here and see what's what. Yeah, this looks like a good road to run down, or to drive down, we'll put it that way. It's too hot to run anywhere. Yeah, this one doesn't look very popular. There's only, looks like 3 people camping here. But no surprise, because you have to walk from here back to where we were originally there at Terrace Park to register, and you have to be on a site to register. So if you don't have a towed or a tow vehicle that you can drive over there, you get to walk over there from here to register. And that's one reason we didn't stay here, because I wasn't just about to make that walk. Looks like pretty similar campground to Terrace, but we're looking for the lake, so hang on, we're gonna head that way. Okay, this looks familiar to me. This is where, you know, I said my son and I came fishing here years ago when he was little, and we lived over here in Davenport. Yeah, those boat docks right in front of us, that's where we would go. We'd come down here, and we did pretty good for crappie on this little arm here. I guess it's still pretty good for crappie. Well, we finally got a look at the lake, I guess. And to try to put this in perspective for you, we're gosh, it's got to be at least 2 miles from the Terrace Park where we were at, and several hundred yards from the Summit campground. So I mean, it's here, but it's not very convenient for campers. there's not a lot more that I can tell you about this place. I looked online before we left to get some information for you, and I really couldn't find anything. And the staff here, they're not equipped with any kind of brochures or anything that tell you anything. So I don't know how many campsites there are. What I can tell you is at the Terrace Park where we were at, you got full hookups on the sites with 50, 30, and 20 amp electrical. There's a dump station there. I was mistaken before when I said there wasn't water on every site. There is. And it looked very much like the summit over here on this side of the lake has the same kind of deal. It's $23 a night, but there's that dollar discount for seniors 65 and over, or Scott County, Iowa residents. They can get an additional $1 off. Price-wise, it's not bad. I wish there's something else I could tell you. I'm just racking my brain for something else to tell you, and there just really isn't anything except I'm going to cut this off, and Molly and I are just going to take a drive home. All right, baby? Yeah. So, until next time, from Molly and me and the rest of the geezer gang, happy trails.